All right, here we are at our 1999 Aqua Chalet. This is a 16 by 68 foot wide body aluminum hull houseboat for sale. We're here on the beautiful freshwaters of Norris Lake Tennessee, where this slip is going to be transferable if anybody wants to leave it right here. We are currently coming to you today from the north end of Norris Lake. We're on the Powell side of the lake, and we're fairly centrally located. We're in Cedar Creek, and of course, we do want to remind everybody to visit the website for the full list of information and all the features and specifications. This walkthrough tour is just meant to supplement our website. You'll find the full list of details at www.yournewboat.com. For your convenience, down in the video description, there will be a direct link to get you right to the listing page of this one. Over at that listing page, you can find a link back to this video tour. So if you found this first on YouTube, again, use that direct link in the video description, or just make your way over to yournewboat.com. And when you do make it there, look for that Find Your New Boat button. When you click that, it's going to show all of our inventory and order price. All you got to do is scroll down until you get to this one. Again, it's the 1999 Aqua Chalet 16 by 68 foot wide body aluminum monohull houseboat. This is going to be a gangplank up here on the bow. And we've got a newer front canvas enclosure. Got some screens in there as well. I'm going to touch on all these highlights. Let me go down this side one more time for you, and then we'll enter in that bow area. This exterior sides, they do need some new paint on the exterior. If you're wanting to keep those graphics, they need to be redone, and need some wax on there as well. This could be some options for a pair of personal watercraft right here. And more on that later whenever we get there. We're going to go through the whole inside of this one. Now, I should say our caulking around our windows is in great shape, as well as our whole deck joint. Those look great. The exterior walls just could use some wax, and again, if you wanted to change that color scheme, that would be the time to do so. All right, so let's step on in through this front canvas enclosure. Again, this is a newer enclosure, and they added all the options on this enclosure. So we just kind of walk through a little door right here that's going to zip up. We've also got some privacy. I guess you'd call it privacy curtains, although it's just part of the canvas. Those will all drop down for privacy. And then we've got screens. I don't know if you can tell in here. That's a screen right there. That one's not. So let's see, it's clear. So those screens are nice because you can unzip those, roll those up, and get some air circulating through here. Personally, it's going to get quite warm in here during the summer months. So a lot of people might opt to, whenever the pollen is done in early June, go ahead and give these a good cleaning and take them off and store them away. Now, this one obviously going up for sale. I believe the sellers wanted to make sure that buyers knew that this option was there, because it is a very nice option. If you're on the boat at all during cooler weather months, this is worth every penny, because it's going to make this space out here on the bow usable during that cooler weather, because all it takes is a little bit of sunlight. It's going to warm this area up. If you're not getting any sunlight, you've got a small little fire pit right here, little propane fire pit, and some nice furniture up here as well. So this has been updated. We've got some newer lights up here on our front porch as well, right there to either side of that door. Newer ceiling fan additionally. And then we are going to have a hatch. There's going to be some storage space down here. So these aluminum hull houseboats, they're essentially built, again, that hull is all aluminum. Your deck is aluminum. Right now, this is all aluminum decking here. There's going to be a firewall right here at the bottom of this door. We're going to head on through the door. We have another firewall at the rear cabin door before you lead into the engine room. Okay, and then all this space below the floor here is all going to be usable storage space. Some people use that space more efficiently than others, but it is all available. Now then, we'll give you a glimpse down in that storage space here in a few. Keep moving right along here. This is going to be our lower helm station. We've got full engine instrumentation down here. You're going to have your tachometer, oil pressure, and engine temperature for your port side engine. Over here, just to the left of that wheel, over here to the right, you've got your starboard side tachometer, engine temp, engine oil pressure, port and starboard, battery voltmeters, engine trim. This can be your trim controllers right here. There is really no trim on a houseboat. Even when they put this on a trailer, um, that trailer's up high enough off the ground where you're really not trimming these outdrives up whatsoever. Now, if you ever got into some shallower water by accident, then that's when you might trim it. Got a functional depth finder, Humminbird depth finder, and a fuel gauge. That's going to be a single 128 gallon aluminum fuel tank for both of those engines. And then we've got an Alpine. That's going to be an AM, FM, CD, USB, auxiliary input, satellite, ready, Pandora, Bluetooth stereo. We've got 9 speakers throughout on the interior and 4 speakers on the exterior. We got two out in the front porch, 2 on the rear porch. Remote generator start's going to be right here. We are equipped with a 12.5 kW Westerbeke generator. We've got about 268 hours showing on that Westerbeke generator. Remote spotlight controls right there. Ring camera is not included with this one. And pulling back here, we've got a 55-inch Hisense HD television with surround sound here in our main salon area. Now, they are currently set up for DirecTV. Now, DirecTV box does have to, actually, that's tied into the seller's home address, so that box will be being removed. But if you do want DirecTV, you can probably reuse that satellite, get you a new box, or add a room if you've already got that service. This is going to be a small little 1500 watt electric heater. This is a little fireplace right here. And we've got a JVC stereo receiver down there as well for that surround sound. So you can see that subwoofer. That is a Bose subwoofer, and then that's what these speakers are up here for that surround sound. And pulling back a little bit. Now, that large sofa over there is actually also serves as a full-size sleeper sofa. Ceiling fan overhead. And like I said, we do have some newer flooring down here. It's appears to be LVP flooring, or luxury vinyl plank flooring. We've got a small island bar here in our galley kitchen area. Updated sink, GE dishwasher, and this is going to be a newer smooth top 5-burner electric oven and range with an over-the-range GE profile space saver microwave, GE electric refrigerator, and across from our galley over here, a small little dining table and a little bar area over here with an integrated coffee maker, dehumidifier. And I'm going to pan back a little bit, give you a minute here to take this all in. Now, before I leave this area, and I normally will save kind of the wear and tear portion for after we've done the walkthrough tour, but while we were here, there was a leak in this part of the ceiling right here. This has been repaired. We've got some newer roof work that was done upstairs. That roof was resealed in September of 2024, and a few repairs took place in 2025. We'll point those out whenever we do get up there. So, all right, continuing on. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath. We got center hallway layout right here. It's going to be a pocket door right here. It's going to take you up to our first of 3 staterooms. It's going to be a full-size bed right here. I should probably mention, here in the main cabin, we got 7 foot 6 inch of headroom out here on the main level. Now, stepping in this stateroom, we've got 3 steps that go up. At the top of that 3rd step, you've got about 5.5 feet of headroom and a nice little hanging closet right there. Again, full-size bed here. A little vent fan, stereo speaker, and then we've also got 12-volt and 110 lighting. So we've got 12-volt and 110 lighting throughout. And there's 2 switches here. Now, those 2 switches are for the same light. There's actually 2 bulbs in there. So that first one there, that was our 110 bulb. And then there's your battery, your 12-volt bulb right there. So now we do have onboard battery charger. So when you are hooked to shore power, batteries are being recharged. But that is why in your houseboats, you're going to see a lot of 2 switches. And a lot of times those switches are for the same light, just 2 different bulbs. And that is the case with every room in this houseboat. That is by design. That's how they intend to have those, so that if you're away from the dock, you don't have to have your generator running all night just to have a light in every room. So here's our first of 2 full bathrooms. That's going to be like an RV style head. And then we've got a nice large walk-in shower. That full view right there. Linen closet here in our bathroom, and a vanity sink, medicine cabinet overhead. And this flooring is throughout except for our staterooms. See, we've got carpet in there. And continue on down, we've got another storage closet right in here. They've been using that one as a pantry closet. And then our second of 3 staterooms, going to be off the main level, stepping down. Now, if you notice, well, whenever I was talking about the 5.5 feet of headroom, so the reason that bed from that first stateroom is kind of off the floor, let me show you right here. See a little area, we got those steps going in, and then that bed's kind of raised up. That allows for the headroom down below in our cuddy stateroom. So we split that headroom by going kind of down into the hole here. And that television over there is actually excluded, so we're not going to mention that one. This is going to be another full-size bed. Obviously, you've got room to go larger down here if you wished. Do have central heat and air vent down here. Also have your dual lights. Again, that's throughout. Another stereo speaker. And that hall space that I was referencing, it's going to be one of 2 accesses for this whole space. And we've got some lighting down here. So we've actually got a plywood floor down here that they put in from the factory level. And that is bags of sand that you're seeing because that is your ballast. So most of the times when they launch these boats, you don't quite know exactly how they're going to sit. They're going to be shifted, to port or to stern or to the bow. So they'll simply carry in counterweight after the boat's launched. So give you a little bonus tour down here in our underhull space. So this is all of our HVAC, central heat and air, ductwork. That's going to be your aluminum waste holding tank right over there. That's going to be an 80-gallon aluminum waste holding tank. That does need to get changed out for a plastic tank. And then we've got a pair of 80-gallon aluminum freshwater tanks. Aluminum is fine for freshwater, just not your wastewater. Cabin bilge pumps right down here, and then this is that firewall that I was mentioning. So let's head back on out to the main cabin. Like I said, there's plenty of additional storage space available down in your whole storage compartments in your typical monohull aluminum houseboat. Let's close that hatch back. All right, a couple steps up to the main level, and then we've got a pocket door here before we go into that master stateroom. And then here's the master stateroom. Ceiling fan overhead. It's going to be a queen-size master bed. And there's not another bedroom below this. So you've actually got room. You can go larger with your master bed right here. You got plenty of room if you want to go to a king. And they've added some nice storage options. And then we've got our master bathroom, another full bathroom, second RV style head, walk-in shower, and that is going to be a Malber front loading washer and dryer with a vanity sink and a medicine cabinet over here as well. And plenty of room throughout this one. All right, now we're going to close that door so I can show you. We've got a nice large master closet back here. Open this up. Nice large hanging closet. And that should do it here. So again, 2 more speakers in your master bedroom here. Stereo speaker in each of our guest rooms. And 4 up there in our living room and galley area, or our salon area. Like I said, 2 out there on that front porch, and we're going to have 2 more out here on the rear porch. So again, another firewall there at this door, and then you've got basically your 3rd sectioned off compartment of your hull space, and this is going to be your engine compartment. All right, so this one's powered by twin 4.3 liter Mercruiser V6 inboard outboard stern drive engines. There are no engine hour meters on these, and these are carbureted at Thunderbolt ignition, so there's no onboard computer that's going to store those engine hours. So we can't quite tell you how many hours are on there. Gauging by that generator, 268 hours on that 12.5 kW Westerbeke generator. That gives you an indication. Outdrives were serviced in 2018. This boat was hauled out of the water. They serviced both of those outdrives. All right, our port side engine's right over here. And again, there's that 12.5 kW Westerbeke generator. That's going to be a 128-gallon aluminum fuel tank right there. So again, 2 80-gallon freshwater tanks, an 80-gallon aluminum waste tank that does need to get swapped out for a plastic tank, and a 128-gallon fuel tank here. There's your onboard bilge pump for this engine room, right about the center of the frame now. You're going to have 3 bilge pumps on this one, basically 1 in each of those compartmentalized spaces. Float switch right there as well. And that's probably about all there is to see here in our engine room. So let's go ahead and close these hatches. Oh, there is a engine compartment heater down there as well. Let's get these hatches closed here. Now, your comfort, your onboard comfort is provided by this American Standard 2-ton HVAC unit. Again, that is central heat and air conditioning. It's a residential unit. And of course, we saw some of that duct work down in that hull space. It was accessible through that guest stateroom. And then there are going to be some PWC rails that will kind of mount in place here on this extended swim platform if you are wanting to use this to store personal watercraft. We're going to have a pull-out swim boarding ladder right here as well, just below this. There's that swim boarding ladder. And we've got a water slide, spiral staircase leading up top. You have a little sunshade over here for some privacy over here on this side. And that's essentially what's over here in this corner is kind of propped up. Looks like that, try to keep some of that late afternoon sun off the rear deck of the boat back here. All right, so let's head on up this spiral staircase. So again, here's a look down that water slide. And this, like I said, this roof was coated in September 2024. They did come back and address a few spots here in 2025. This would be one of those spots that they addressed. I don't know if you can tell the difference there in that roof coating. This appears to be like more of your typical gel coat, and I believe the other areas were done in a polyurethane-based sealant. So lifetime storage box. This is going to be a nice large canvas party top, about 16-foot canvas party top. Now I will say this canvas is fairly weathered. It is in some of its final stages of life that will need to be replaced in the near future. We've got a few rips up there and some patchwork that was done up there. We've got some sunshades that have been installed to that party top all the way around. It's going to give you some extra privacy up here. We got a ceiling fan, of course, this patio table and chairs. We've got a small cooktop, little portable sink. I love this guy. That would be really handy up here, especially if you're doing any cooking up here. And then we got a Charbroil Performance gas grill with a side burner. Got some ceiling fans that have been mounted along with some rope lighting underneath our party top as well, like that little netting they put up to make that usable storage space. And then here's your second helm up here. We got a bimini top over top of our flybridge up here. So this is going to be another place where you could operate this boat when you're underway. Step over here, give you another view back this is basically just a fiberglass shell right here, this flybridge, and that's pretty much faded paint off of there. Give you a look there. Here's that remote spotlight right here. And then if you catch a glimpse of this, we might try to show you some of this with our drone shots. But if you are interested in transferring this slip, we've got basically a little floating water park here at this particular marine harbor. So that's just down the walkway for you. And all right, so a few other spots I did want to show you in that roof. Get this camera to stay put here. So they've just been really generous with some of the sealing right here. Just sealing this roof, kind of going over your rail feet right here. Now some of it kind of looks a little sloppy, but this right here is doing its job. The job of your roof coating is to seal out moisture. And so that's what they've done. So again, that's an area right there. That might be used, touched up a little bit. But again, they've kind of been generous with their coatings kind of going around. So here's another spot right here where there was a repair that was done in this season in 2025. And then here's a little spot right here. It's kind of flaking up a little bit. That looks like some of that original coating. This was another little kind of repair spot right there. And if you can see this right here, this is your newer repair. And again, a few other little spots right here. Again, a little bit of, it doesn't look the prettiest, but the goal should be accomplished. And I'm showing you that. And here's where some more product was. And then, of course, that's that other repair spot that we referenced earlier, too, when we first came up here. All right, so let's head back down. That's going to start to wrap things up. I believe we've covered everything we needed to cover. Again, this slip is transferable. A few other little spots I'll show you here going down this stairwell right here where right in here. Now, some of this might need to get touched up again. Like I said, none of it is very pretty, but the mission can still be accomplished as far as keeping moisture sealed out of there. So I believe that's probably going to do it. So here's the name of this one is Naughty Business, if you do want to keep the name. Some people think it's superstitious to change it. And Aqua Chalet, that is the manufacturer right there. So we did kind of show you those exterior sides. I don't feel like we need to redo those. I do want to point out, because this might catch some people's attention, you do not get mail delivered here. Those actually are just boxes that cover up your power connection right there. So don't want you to think that mail's going to be brought down the dock here to you. Maybe in some places, but not here. So again, this is the 1999 Aqua Chalet 16 by 68 foot wide body aluminum hull houseboat for sale. Twin V6 engine power, 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, newer roof coating, and recent outdrive service. Again, those were done in 2018. And that front enclosure is new. Slip is transferable. And again, please reach out to us with any questions about this one. Do contact us through the website. We do not monitor that YouTube comment page. So if you do have questions about this one, please take the time to make it over to the website. When you do make it to the website, you'll be able to reach out to us by phone, by text, or by email, whatever is the most convenient for you. And as we If you do send us an email, if it's been one business day, you have not gotten an email reply, check your spam folder. And if you call us on the phone, keep in mind we are very frequently in areas without cell phone reception. So if you do want to return a phone call and you get a voicemail, just please take the time, leave us a detailed message, let us know which listing you're looking at, what questions you have. As soon as we either finish with the customer or return to cell phone range, we'll receive your message and return your call and answer all those questions for you. Now, two things will be coming up over top of your screen as we sign off here. One's going to be a shortcut to our current listings playlist. That is where you'll find all of our current listings that are available. It's where you're going to find the video tour for each. Of course, you're going to find all those current listings over on the website. And then the other option is going to be subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you get notified anytime a new listing does come available and a new video gets posted. So we do appreciate all those that do subscribe. And I thank you again for joining us on this one. Again, it's 1999 Aqua Chalet 16 by 68 foot aluminum hull wide body houseboat for sale. Thank you again for joining us.